Hello, welcome to our YouTube channel that provides mathematics. So in this lesson, we want to look at a full paper, that is paper 1. ECZ Mathematics paper 1 2018, October. As you may know, there are two papers that are written in a year, that is for GCE and for the internals. So in this particular presentation, we are going to look at the paper for the internal. We'll look at the whole paper from question 1 up to 23. So let's begin. The first question reads, find the value of x to the power 0 multiplied by 2 to the power 3. So as you may know that any base raised to 0 is equals to 1 except 0 itself. So meaning x to the power 0 is equals to 1 multiplied by 3 to the power 3. You need to multiply 2 to the power 3. You need to multiply this 2 by itself 3 times and you are going to get 8. Okay? So when you multiply this, you are going to get 8 as your final answer. That is what you are going to get. Okay? That is what you are going to get. So that is our answer for question 1. So we can go to question 2. Okay? We can go to question 2. We can go to question 2, which reads, factorize completely 18 minus 2 minus x squared. How do we factorize this one? So as you may know, we looked at 4 types of factorization. So here we can start with the common factor method. What is the highest common number that can go into 2 and 18? It's 2 itself. We are going to remain with 9 minus x squared. Okay? So when we reach this point, I'm sure you realize that we can go to another method of factorization here. Okay? We can go to another method of factorization, which is a difference of 2 squares, where we're going to rewrite this 3 as 9 squared and the x squared. Okay? So how do we factorize the difference of 2 squares? You know that we're going to expand this one as 2, 3 plus x, then 3 minus x. This is what is going to be our answer to question 2. This is what is going to be our answer to question 2. So let's look at question 3. Okay? Let's look at question 3. Let's look at question 3. So we got question 3, which reads, z is a point, -1, 8, and m is a point, 2, 12. Find the magnitude of Zm. So how do we find the magnitude? The first thing that we are supposed to do is to add these two. Okay? So Zm is equals to Zo plus Om. Okay? So this one is a position vector that is given as, if we want to write this one as a position vector from the origin, this is OZ. So in this case, we have the opposite. So we're going to have, this one will become a positive and this one will be a negative 8. Then plus this one as it is, okay, 2, 12. Then we add these two. So when we add these two, what are we going to get? This one will give us 3, -8 plus 12 is going to give us 4. Okay? So what we have gotten is this is what we have gotten. We have gotten 3 and 4 here. But remember, the question wants us to find what? The magnitude, which is the Zm. So the magnitude, we need to find the square root of the squares of this one. So we're going to have 3 squared plus 4 squared. What do we get? Okay? This is going to give us, a square of 3 is 9 plus the square of 4, which is 16. Alright? So When you add these two, what do you get? You're getting 25. Alright? You are getting 25. Are we together? We're getting 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. So this is the magnitude of Zm. This is the magnitude of Zm. So we got question 4. So we should take note here that this is supposed to be units, because magnitude is like we're talking about distance. Okay? So we come to question 4. Use set notation to describe the shaded region in the diagram below. Okay? So now, here when you look at B and C, when you look at the union of B and C, when you look at the union of B and C, these two are not shaded. These two sets are not shaded. So we are looking at their complement, which is the region that is outside these two sets. It's not shaded. Then intersection A. This is what is going to be our answer here. When we write the shaded region in set notation, this is what we are getting. Alright? This is what we are going to get. So we can move on to question 5. We can move on to question 5. Right? So question 5 reads, Freud had 125 shares in a company. At the end of the year, at the end of a financial year, the company, I think, declared dividend of 30 kwacha per share. How much was due to Freud? So Freud had how many shares? Had 125 shares. Okay? Had 125 shares. Okay? Now, the dividend per share that was declared was a 30 kwacha. Okay? So now we need to multiply these two. Okay? We need to multiply these two so that we get there. So when we multiply these two, we can try to multiply. You are going to get 3,750 kwacha. Okay? This is the amount that was due to what? Freud. This is the amount that was due to Freud. So we can proceed and look at question 6. Okay? We can proceed and look at question 6. We can proceed and look at question 6. Look at question 6. Okay. So question 6 says, a cylinder with diameter 2 centimeters has a volume of 5 centimeters cubed. Find the volume of a similar cylinder with a diameter 8 centimeters. Okay? So the ratios that we are given here, for the cylinders are, we have 2 and 8. We have 2 and 8. Alright? So these are the ratios that we are given there. So now what we are supposed to do first is to simplify these ratios here. Okay? We are going to have 2 and 4. Okay? So these are the ratios of the cylinders that we are going to work with. So what we are supposed to do now is to have 1 over 4, okay? This is the diameter of this, okay? The cylinder that corresponds with this volume, okay? Then here we have got what? 5 centimeters cubed over this one is what we are looking for. Now, because of this, okay? It means that even this side we need to find the what? The cubes of these two numbers. Okay. So when you simplify, this is like 4 multiplied. Okay. This is what we are supposed to do. So this, when we simplify this, it is going to give us 1 over 64 is equals to 5 over x. So we are looking for x here. So you know that to find the value of x, we are going to do what? we are going to cross multiply. So x multiplied by 1, we are going to get x is equals to 5 multiplied by 4, we are getting 20. Okay? Then 5 multiplied by 6, we are getting 30. So plus the 2, we are getting. So this is going to be what? Find the volume of a similar cylinder with radius. So this is going to be, this is what we are going to get here. Are we together? So we can move on to the 7th question. We are going to solve the whole paper here. We are solving the whole paper. So please stick around, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do so. Okay? Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We are solving the whole paper. So we can go to the next question, which is question 7. Okay? We can go to the next question, which is question 7. So question 7 reads, the Venn diagram below shows sets A and B. Then we want to find the elements that are in this set. So what are we talking about here? List the elements of A complement intersection B. So the interpretation here is that we are looking at the elements that are not in set A, but they are there in set B. The elements that are not in set A, but they are there in set B. Okay? Which is it? So A complement intersection B. Okay? Intersection B. We are looking at elements that are not in set A, but they are there in set B. So from what we are seeing there, we only have this. So then, having done this, B has 2 parts, A and B. I mean, 7 has 2 parts, which is A and B. So we can go to the second one. We can go to the second one, and here we need to pay particular attention. It's easy that we can make mistakes because of multiplication. So we are expressing these 2 matrices as 1, which is a single matrix. So we need to multiply this matrix by the second one. And I'm sure I understand that to simplify this, or how do we multiply matrices? It's row by a column. Row by column. So we need to multiply this row by this column. So we do that. 1 multiplied by -1, the first one, that is going to give us -1. That is 1 multiplied by -1. Then plus 4 multiplied by 2. 4 multiplied by these 2, we're going to get 8 plus 0 multiplied by 0, we're getting 0. So we are done. Then we are coming to this same row with the second column. 1 multiplied by 4, we're going to get 4. And 4 multiplied by 2, we're going to get plus 8 plus 0 multiplied by 1 to be 0. So we go to this same row by the last column. So 1 multiplied by 5, we have 5. Then 4 multiplied by 3, we have 12. And 0 multiplied by -2, we have 0. So we have multiplied all these columns by the first row. So we come to this one. So we are multiplying this second row by each of those columns. So the first one is 2 multiplied by -2. Okay? 2 multiplied by -2 there. 2 multiplied by -1. So we're going to get -2. Then plus 1 multiplied by 2, we'll get 2 plus 1 multiplied by 0, we'll get 0. Then now this row by the second column, 2 multiplied by 4, we're going to get 8. Plus 1 multiplied by 2, we're going to get 2. Plus 1 multiplied by 1, we're going to get 1. The same row by the last column, 2 multiplied by 5, we're going to get 10. And 1 multiplied by 3, we're going to get 3. 1 multiplied by -2, we're going to get -2. Okay? Then we come to the last row by each column. The first one is 3 multiplied by -1. We're going to get -3. Plus 2 multiplied by 3, we're going to get 6. Plus 4 multiplied by -2, we're going to get -8. Okay? So, no, I think, so we said, okay, so take note here. 3 multiplied by -1, we're supposed to get negative 3 plus 2 multiplied by 2, we're supposed to get 4, plus 4 multiplied by 0, we're getting 0. Okay, then we move to the second column. 3 multiplied by 4, we're going to get 12, plus 2 multiplied by 2, we're going to get 4. And 4 multiplied by 1, we're going to get 4. Okay, then by the last column, 3 multiplied by 5, we're going to get 15, plus 2 multiplied by 3, we're going to get 6. And 4 multiplied by negative 2, we're going to get negative 8. Okay? We're going to get negative 8. So now we can simplify these. Okay? So the first one, how do we get negative 1 plus 8? What do we get? Here we're getting 7. What are we going to get here? This is going to give us 0. We're going to get 0 here. Here we're going to get 1. Okay? We're getting 1 here. When you add these two, what are you getting? You're getting 12. When you add these ones, you're getting 11. These ones here, 20. Okay? Then this side, we're getting what? 17. 17. Here we're getting 13 minus 2. What are we getting? 11. Okay? The last one, we're getting, this is going to give us 15 minus 2 here. What are we getting? This is giving us 13. Okay? This is giving us 13. So this is what is supposed to be what is going to be our answer here to question 7b. This is what is going to be our answer to question 7b. So we got question 8. We have question 8 here. Remember, I mentioned that we are going to solve the whole paper. The whole paper is what we are here for. Okay? The whole paper is what we are here for. So let's look at the question. For an arithmetic progression 16, 25, 34, 43, and 52, write down the next term. Write down the next term. So I'm sure you know that what we do is we need to find the common difference. After we have found the common difference, then we add it to this 52. Then we'll be able to determine the next term here. And the common difference, which is represented by D, we always say it's the second term minus the first term. So what is our second term here? Our second term is 25 minus 16. Okay? So what are we getting here? Okay? What are we going to get? This gives us what? 9. This gives us 9. So after we've gotten this 9, which is the common difference, so this is what this is a constant that is added to get the next term. This is a constant that is added to get the next term. So you add this 9 to 52 to get the next term. So here we're going to have 52 plus 9. What do you get? That is what is going to be your next term. That is what, so we're going to have 61 there. We're going to have 61. Okay. We are going to get 61. Then we want now to find the nth term. The nth term is where we come to use this formula for the nth term. A plus n minus 1 multiplied by d, which is the common difference. A is the first term. Okay? So we get to say, what is our first term here? Our first term is 16 plus n minus 1 multiplied by d, which is the common difference, and we got what? 9. So we say 16 plus, you distribute the 9 here, we're going to have 9. So take note here, this is supposed to be 16. It's supposed to be 16 here. So we put the like terms together. That is 16 minus 9 plus 9n. So when we subtract this one, what do we get? Here, we're going to get 7 plus 9n. This is the nth formula, 7 plus 9n. So I'm taking you to question 9, okay? I'm taking you to question 9. We are also helping you to answer these questions and see exactly how they are done. So the rest of the remaining questions, we are going to answer them right from the question paper so that you can see how you are supposed to handle the questions. All right, thank you very much. So we come to question 9, which reads, a plane leaves town P, which is on the equator, okay, 0 degrees, 30 degrees west, and flies due east to a town Q, which is 0 degrees, 50 degrees east in 3 hours. The distance between P and Q is 4,800 nautical miles. Calculate its average speed. So average speed here, which is A, average speed is equals to distance over time. Okay? That is, so our distance has been given as what? 4,800 divided by time, which is what? 3. So you have to divide this 3 into 4,800. So we say 3 into 4, it's 1. 3 into 18, it's 6. And this, since the distance is in nautical miles, then our speed will be knots. So this is what we're supposed to get. And here we write 1,600 knots. Okay? Then we come to B. So the question reads, if the plane leaves P, at 6 hours, what time will it arrive at Q? So if you want, we can sketch, we can come up with a sketch of the globe here, okay, which is the equator is here. Then this side we have 50 degrees east, and this side we have 30 degrees west. So this is where our P is going to be, and our Q will be here. Okay? So now we are told that if the time here at P it is 6 hours, what time will it arrive at Q? So from P going to Q, we are going to the east. So you know that as we go to the east, time increases. So we are going to add 3 hours to 6 hours. So we have 6 hours we add 3 hours to this. What are we going to have? 09 hours. Okay? So what time will it arrive at Q? It will be 09 hours. Okay? That's the time. So we come to question 10. Question 10A, given that the matrix, we have this matrix here, then we are asked to find the transpose. So to transpose a matrix, the rows will become columns and the columns will become rows. So A, okay, M transpose, what do we get? M transpose, we are going to have 3, negative 1, 0, negative 2, 1, 3, 0, negative 1, 2. This is what is going to be our transpose. Okay. Then we have B, expand and simplify. All right. So we have got in the bracket C plus 3. So how do we expand this one? So it is going to be C plus 3 squared is equals to C plus 3 multiplied by C plus 3. So how do we expand this one? C has to be multiplied by this factor. C multiplied by C plus 3 plus, we come this to get this 3 also, we multiply it by C plus 3. So we're going to have C squared plus 3C plus 3C plus 9. So I have C squared plus 6C plus 9. What do we get? This is what is going to be our answer. Okay. So all these answers are supposed to come here. All these answers are supposed to come here. C squared plus 6C plus 9. You also bring this transpose here. So we got question 11. So question 11 reads, it has got two questions, A and B. A reads, a box contains 5 green, 3 yellow, and 6 red beads of the same type. Find the probability of picking a yellow bead at random from the box. Okay, so here the probability, which is our A, the probability of picking a yellow bead is going to be equal to the number of yellow beads in the box. How many are they? There are 3. Over the total number of beads in the box. So we have got 9, or we have got 8 plus 4. What are we getting? 8 plus 6, I mean, this is going to give us 14. This is going to give us 14. So this is what is going to be our answer here. This is what is going to be our answer here. Okay? Then we go to B. Find the equation of a straight line passing through this point. So you know that to write the equation of a straight line, we need the gradient. So the first thing that we are supposed to do here, you know that to write the equation of a straight line, we use this formula, and here we have the gradient. And the gradient is what we do not have. So let us find the gradient first. And how do we find the gradient? Gradient is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So here we can go on to say, what is our y2? Our y2 is going to be equals to 10, which is this coordinate here, minus 5 over 2 minus 1. So this is going to give us what? 5 over 1, which is going to be 5. Okay? So then we have our m, which is the gradient here. Then now this point. So we can pick any of these 2 points. If you're going to get this one will be your y, your x1. This one will be your y1. If you're going to pick this one, this will be your x1. This will be your y1. So let's get the first one. So we have y minus y1, which is 5, is equals to m. M is the gradient. Then x minus x1, which is 1. So we simplify this one. Y minus 5 is equals to 5x minus 5. Are we there? Then we say y is equals to 5x minus 5 plus 5. When this one comes the other side, it will be plus. So we have y is equals to 5x. Y is equals to 5x. Okay? Y is equals to 5x. Or it can also be written as y minus 5x is equals to 0. So these are the same. So we can have this one or this one. These will be our answers here for question 11. So we come to question 12. Okay, we come to question 12, which reads, y varies directly as the square of x. Okay, y varies directly as the square of x. So this, in terms of an equation, we need to write it like y is equals to k and square of x. Okay, so we need to find the value of k when y is equals to 96 and k is equals to, k multiplied by 4 squared. So this is going to be 96 is equals to 16k. So we divide both sides by 16. We divide both sides by 16. So k will be equals to So we are going to get 6 here. So that is our a value of the constant. Okay, so now we can replace k in the equation so that we have, this is our answer here. So we can replace k in the equation so that we have 6x squared. So now this takes us to b. Find the value of y when x is equals to 5. Find the value of y when x is equals to 5. So that will mean 6 multiplied by 5 squared. So 6 multiplied by 25. What do we get? So we are going to get 150. We're going to get 150. So y is equals to 150. Take note, this is 150 here. Okay? Then we go on to finding the value of x. Now we want to find the value of x. What is the value of x? Remember, okay, or let me say 6x squared. We want to find the value of x. So to find the value of x, we are given that y is equals to 24. So here we have 24 is equals to 6x squared. So you divide both sides by 6. You divide both sides by 6. So x squared is equals to 24 divided by 6, you get 4. So we need now to find the value of x, or the values of x, because to the square root where you get minus or positive 4. So x is going to give us 2 values, which is minus or positive 2. So you can write them as x is equals to 2 or x is equals to negative 2. That is also how you can write your answers here. Okay? So we come to question 13. We have 2 parts also. Question A is solve the equation. How do we solve this equation? So A, we have 2x is equals to 8. So this type of an equation, what we can do here is just to divide both sides by 2. Then you're going to have x squared is equals to 4. Again, we find the square root of 4. So x is equals to positive or minus the square root of 4. And this is going to give us, what is the square root of 4? To be positive or minus 2. So as you can see here on the provision of answers, we're going to put 2 or negative 2. Then we come to B. The mass of a bag of mealie meal is 25 kg. Complete the statement in the answer space. So when you look at M, here is the mass, isn't it? So what this is talking about, we need to find the lower limit and the upper limit. We need to find the lower limit and the upper limit. So what we are supposed to do, I'm sure you know that we need to find the absolute error. Then when we add the absolute error to this 25, that gives us the upper limit. When we subtract it, it gives us the what? The lower limit. So let's find the absolute error. So the least unit of, we need to find the absolute error. So how do we find the absolute error? Here, we need to multiply the least unit of measurement by, we need to multiply half by the least unit of measurement, which is 1 for the whole number. And this is going to give us what? 0.5. So this 0.5, we needed to subtract it from 25 in order to get the lower limit. And when you subtract 0.5 from 25, it is going to give you what? 24.5. Then you add it. You add it to get the upper limit. When you add it, you are going to get 25.5. So this is how you are supposed to write your answers here. Okay? Okay, so we come to question 14, which reads, in the diagram below, F is due east of E. So meaning here they have a 90 degrees. Angle GEF is 60 and angle EFG is 40. Calculate the bearing of F from G. The bearing of F from G. Okay, so what we are supposed to do first of all here is that let's try to find these angles that could be missing so that we don't make mistakes. So if we can have a north here, okay, since we are told that this F is due east of E, then this is 90 degrees here. This is 90 degrees. So also, if this is 40, then we need to subtract 40 from 90 in order to get this part here, so that these three angles can add up to 180. So this is going to be 50 degrees. Okay? So we can come up with a north here also. So the bearing of F from G is this one. The bearing of F from G is this one. So this north and this north, they are parallel to each other. So if they are parallel, this angle here, which is 50, is alternate to this one. Therefore, we know that alternate angles are equal. So if alternate angles are equal, then it means that even this angle here is what? It's 50. So this one here, the bearing of F from G is going to be equals to 0.5 degrees. So that is what we are going to get here, 0.5 degrees. Then the bearing of E from G, the bearing of E from G, the bearing of E from G. So now it is this whole, okay? That is what we want here. So now, so we are saying the bearing of E from G. This is what I've shown here. So the best that we can do here to simplify our work is to find this angle here. Okay? And how do we find this angle? We can easily find this angle. You add 60 plus 40 plus 50. You're going to get 150. Then you subtract from 180 because these three angles must give you 180. So this angle here is going to be 30. Okay? This angle here is going to be 30. So now, for this one, we are going to say 360 degrees minus 30. What are we going to get? This is going to give us 330. 330 degrees. That's what we're going to get here. Okay? Hello, so we come to question 15. Question 15 has two parts. A reads the point 5, 2 is a midpoint of a straight line joining A, given by those coordinates x, 9, and B, which is 3, y. Find the values of x and find the value of x and the value of y. Okay, so A, we can write our A here. Okay, so you know that the midpoint, the coordinates of the midpoint can be found by then y2 plus y1 over 2. Okay, so now the midpoint, okay, this is already given as the coordinate, the coordinate of the midpoint, which we are supposed to get when we use this part. Are we together? 5 is is the coordinate that we are supposed to get when we use this part. So we're going to say this is telling us that we need to have, so we use now the x coordinate. The x coordinate, we have x, okay, and the 3. So we can say 3 plus x over 2. This must give us what? 5. The same thing here also. The same thing here also. We can do the same thing, which is going to be the y coordinate. We have y plus 9 over 2, and this is supposed to give us this coordinate here, the y coordinate, which is 2. So here you cross multiply, you're going to get 3 plus x is equals to 10. Even this side, you're going to get y plus 9 is equals to 4. Then this is going to be x will be equals to 10 minus 3. X will be equals to 10 minus 3, which will be 7. Okay? Then y is going to be equals to 4 minus 9. It's going to be equals to 4 minus 9, which will be negative. Which will be negative 5. So the value of x is 7. The value of y is negative 5. Okay. So we come to question B. B. The length of a line is 8 centimeters. If the recorded value is 8.2, calculate the percentage error. So the percentage error is equals to the relative error multiplied by 100%. So also the relative error is equals to the absolute error divided by the true value. So the first thing that we are supposed to do is to find the absolute error. The absolute error is equals to recorded value minus the true value. Is equals to recorded value here, which is what? Recorded value minus true value, which is equals to 8.2 minus 8. Okay, 8.2 minus 8, and this is going to give us what? 0.2. This is our what? This is our absolute error. This is our absolute error. So then we move to the percentage error. The percentage error, which the question is asking us, percentage error is equals to the relative error, and the relative error is equals to what? Absolute error over the true value, which is what? 8 multiplied by 100%. That's what we are supposed to do. So we can simplify this part here as what? 2 over 80 multiplied by 100. And this is going to give us that 2 here, 4, 2 here, 5, and 2 here is 1, 2 here is 2. So we are going to have 5 over 2, and this is going to give us 2.5%. 2.5%. 2.5%. Okay. So we come to this question. Question 16. Okay, so we come to question 16. So question 16, we have these two functions, f and g. Then we want to find the inverse on the first one. We want to find the inverse. So a, how do we find the inverse? We say y, where there is fx, we put y is equals to 2x minus 5. Okay? Then now we make x the subject of the formula, which will be y plus 5 is equals to 2x. So you divide both sides by 2. So x is going to be equals to y plus 5 over 2. So f x will be equals to, while there is y here, we put back the x plus 5 over 2. So this is what is going to be the answer for the first one. X plus 5 over 2. Okay. Then now, in this same one, okay, in this same one, where in the inverse of y, we put, where there is x here, we need to put negative 10. So we're going to put negative 10 plus 5 over 2. And this is going to be now our B. So this gives us what? Negative 5 over 2, which could be negative 2, 1 over 2, or negative 2.5. So here we're going to have negative 2, 1 over 2. Okay? That's what we're supposed to get. Then the third one, which is C, it's a composite function. It's a composite function, so we can write our C here. So the first thing that we're supposed to do here is to find G of X. Okay? G of X, which is going to be F into G. Okay, F into G, it's going to be 2x minus 5 plus 3. Where there is x here into G, we need to put F. So we're going to get 2x minus 2. Then G, now here we put 3. So it means where there is 3, where there is x here, we put 3. That will be 2 multiplied by 3 minus 2. What do we get? 6 minus 2. And this is going to give us 4. So C, we are getting 4. Alright? So we come to question 17. Given that y is equals to 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 4x plus 2. Find the y dx. So we are finding the derivative here. So A, we are saying dy dx, okay, is equals to, what are we supposed to do? We multiply this 3 by 2, we're getting 6. Then we subtract a 1 from that 3, we are remaining with this one. Then here 2 multiplied by 5, we're getting 10x. 2 minus 1, we get 1. So then plus, this will be just 4, because here it will be 1 minus 1, which will be x to the power 0, and that will be 1. Derivative of a constant is 0. So this is what we're going to get here. Okay? So the answer for A here is supposed to be dy dx is equals to 6x squared minus 10x plus 4. Okay? I'm sure I'm supposed to have B here also. So in the diagram below, that is B, AC is given as 10 centimeters and the angle ABC is 90 degrees and angle BAC is 30 degrees. Calculate. Okay. So now here we are looking at trigonometric ratios. What we have been given here is the hypotenuse, and then the side that they are looking for is what? Is the opposite. So now we need to look at a ratio that works with the opposite direction and the hypotenuse, which is sine. So where we say B, we always say sine theta is equals to opposite over the hypotenuse, isn't it? So sine theta here is given. So we have sine 30 is equals to the opposite, that is our BC. The opposite, that is our BC, over the hypotenuse, which is 10. So I'm sure you know that 30 is a special angle. So when you simplify this one, sine theta gives you what? 0.5. This is equals to what? BC multiplied by 10. So to find BC, we need to cross multiply. So BC is equals to 0.5 multiplied by 10. 0.5 multiplied by 10. So BC will be equals to 5. BC will be equals to 5 centimeters. So BC will be equals to 5 centimeters. Okay? So we come to question 18. Question 18 reads, in the diagram below, O is the center of the circle. A, B, C, and D are points on the circumference. AD produced meets the line from C at E such that CD is equal to ED, and the angle AOC is equals to 20. So here, it's even important that before you even look at the angles that they want you to find, you can find most of these angles using the properties. Okay? So this is the angle at the circumference, which is twice the angle. I mean, the angle at the center is twice the angle on the circumference. So when we divide this one by 2, we'll get this one as 60. Okay? And also, this angle here, which is 60, is on a straight line with this other angle. So meaning this whole angle here is also 120. So if this angle is 120, and we are told because of these two bars here, this is an isosceles triangle. So these two angles are supposed to be equal here. So meaning this is supposed to be 30 and this is supposed to be 30. Why? You subtract this one from 180, you're going to get 60. So you divide 60 by 2. Okay? That is that. And again, if we look at this as a cyclic quadrilateral, this angle at 60 and this one, they're supposed to add up to what? 180. Those are the rules. So this angle here also here, it's 120. Okay? This angle here is 120. So having done that, we can see which other angles we have to find. So we can come to the angles here. ADC. ADC. As you can see, that is 60 degrees. ABC. ABC. As you can see clearly, we already found that is 120. Then DEC. DEC. That is 30 degrees. So we have 60 degrees, 120 degrees, and 30 degrees. Okay? So that is that. That's what you are supposed to find. So we come to question 19, which reads, the diagram below shows a sketch of the graph y is equals to 2 plus x minus x squared passing through the points E and D. As we can see, the graph is here. So the first question is find the coordinates of E and G. Find the coordinates of E and G. So what we are supposed to do here, you know that the y coordinates on these 2 points, the y coordinate is 0. The y coordinate is 0. So we need just to equate this to 0 and solve. Okay? We need to equate this to 0 and solve. Okay? So this is what we are going to do. So we are going to say 2 plus x minus x squared is equals to 0. So we can solve this one. Okay? We can solve this one. How do we solve? We can use factorization method where we have our product is -2 and then here we have +1. Okay, this is our product and this is our sum. So what are the factors? Let's find the factors. What are the factors? Okay. What factors do we need? Okay. So we can have +2. Let's see. +2 and -1. When we multiply these two, we get -2. When we add them, we get +1. All right, so we can expand this one using those two factors. 2x minus x squared is equals to 0. So here we have 2, which is common. Then we remain with x. Here you factorize minus x, it's common. Then here you remain with x. This is equals to 0. So you need to look at factorization method if you are not familiar with it. You can look at our video on this part. Okay. So then here we say 2 minus x and then 1 plus x is equals to 0. So we equate each one of these factors to 0. Okay. So this is going to be 2 minus x is equals to 0, or 1 plus x is equals to 0. So this one here is going to be minus x is equals to 2 to 0 minus 2, which is going to be negative 2 here. You divide by negative 2, you divide by negative 2, so x is equals to 2. Then the other part here, you have what? X is equals to 0 minus 1. So x is equals to negative 1. So we can look at the coordinates here. So if you look at the 0, we have our 0 here. Okay, we have our 0 here. So E is on the negative side, so meaning the x coordinate of E, the coordinates for E, it has got negative 1 and 0 for Y. Then the x coordinate of G, which is found on the positive side, it's going to be 2, 0. So these are the coordinates of those 2 points. Okay. Then remember, we still have another question. Find the maximum value of y. Find the maximum value of y. Maximum value of y, what is it? So to find the maximum value of y, we can maybe first deal with the, let's find the, I like this one where we just find, we use this formula to find the x coordinate. Then we replace. So this is negative b. So when you look at this one, what do we have? Here we just have minus, it's 1, b is 1 here, over our a is a negative 1 also. So when you multiply negative 1 by 2, so this is also be negative. So this is going to give us what? This is going to give us 1 over 2. So now we replace this one in the original function to get the y coordinate. So we're going to have y is equals to 2 plus, while there's x there, we put what? 1 over 2 plus, or here we have a minus 1 over 2 squared. So we have 2 plus 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. So then we find what is common. Here it is 4, so we get 8. Plus this is what? 2. So we get 2. Minus this is 1. What are we going to get? So here we are going to get our, you are going to get our, you add these two, you get 10. 10 minus 1, 10 minus 1, you're going to get 9 over 4. Okay, so 9 over 4, this is going to give you, you can actually leave it like this, or if you want you can divide. This is going to be 2, then you're going to have 1 over 4. Okay, you can divide this one. So we are talking about the y coordinate at the turning point, because if they wanted us to find the coordinates of the turning point, you could have used this one as well as this one. Those are the coordinates of the turning point. So the answer now here to this question, which is B, is 9 over 4, or 2 whole number 1 over 4. That is what you're supposed to get. Okay. So we come to question 20. We have 3 more questions. So this question says, A, the diagram below shows a triangular prism with AB is equals to BC equals to AC equals to DE equals to EF equals to D, and AD is equals to BE, which is also equals to CF. As we can see the prism here. State the number of planes of symmetry. So in how many ways can we cut this thing and produce two identical shapes? That will be 3. I mean, that will be 4. Okay, so our answer here is 4. Then B says, in the answer space below is an incomplete program in pseudocode to calculate the circumference of a circle of latitude x, okay, x degrees, given the radius capital R of the earth. Complete the program by filling in the blank spaces with appropriate statements. So first of all, we need to come up with this formula. What is this formula that we use to calculate the circumference of the latitude of a circle? It's 2 pi r cos x. Okay, cos x. All right, so we have, what are we supposed to, this is the program that is begun and we need just to finish it. So we have begin here, enter. So what are we supposed to enter here? So as you may know, on the calculator we already have pi and cos. So what we are going to enter here will be r as well as x degree. Then in our circumference here, what are we going to write? So circumference, we'll be writing 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r multiplied by cos x degree. That will be what we'll be doing here. All right, then that ends the program. So we come to question 21. On the x or y plane below, region R is unshaded. Okay, region R is unshaded. Then write the 3 inequalities that define the region R. Okay, so here we can start with this one. We can start with this one, which cuts the y-axis. So the first one is x is greater than or equal to -3, because we are looking at the region as we go this side. The region that where R is, it's on the right side of -3, so it is greater than as we go this side. Okay, we are going towards numbers that are greater than, so that is what is going to be the first one. Then these other two, we need to pick 2 coordinates and find the gradient. Okay, so I don't know if I can also make use of this space here. So I can get, for instance, if I want this one, I can get this point here, which is 0,2. Then I can also get this same point here, which is what? 3,4. Then I need to find the gradient here. So I'm talking about this line now. I want to find the inequality of this one. So I've picked 2 points. I need to find the gradient. So the gradient, we have been finding it where we are coming from, is y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is what? Which is 2, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 0. So this gives us what? 2 over 3. This is our gradient. Then, now we need to write the actual equation. Say y minus y1 is equals to gradient x minus x1. So we can use these coordinates y1, x1 as this one. This is our x1, this is our y1. Our gradient is what we found here. So we can go on here and say y minus y1, which is 2, is equals to 2 over 3 x minus 0. So at this point you can cross multiply. These 2 can come this side. I mean these 3 can multiply these by 3. So this will be 3y minus 6 is equals to, the 2 will remain this side. So we'll have 2x. Okay, we'll have 2x because of the 0 there. So this we can go on and say, okay, so this is we can rewrite this as, maybe we say 3y minus 2x is equals to, the 6 should come this side. Okay, it's one and the same thing. Then now this is an equation, so we need the inequality now. What symbol are we going to put here where there's an equal sign? So we are going to use the, so we're looking at which part are we going to which symbol are we going to put here. So take note that we are looking at the region R. So from this side as we go up, okay, if we can look at the y coordinates, these y coordinates that are on top of the shaded region, they are greater than these ones that are below. So we need to say this is 3y minus 2x is greater or equal to 6. Okay, this is what we're going to get. So the second inequality there can be 3y minus 2x is greater or equal to 6. So we come out to and get the second one, this one. Again, we can pick these two coordinates, which could be like here we can pick 0, 7, 0, 7. Then this other one here we can still pick 3, 4. Then now we find again our gradient. Our gradient is y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is what? 7, over x2 minus, this is going to give us minus 3 over 3. So our gradient will be equals to -1. Then now we find the actual equation. So we can use this one here. Y minus, what is our x? What is our y? 7 is equals to, our gradient is what? -1. X minus 0. This 0 here. So we have y minus 7 is equals to -x. So this could be y plus x is equals to 7. 7 goes the other side there. Okay? That is what we're going to have. Now, what is the inequality? What is the inequality that we're going to use? Okay, so we're going to look at, this is the region here. The region here, as we come down, if you look at even the y coordinate, this one and this one, you will discover that these are less. So this is going to be what? Less. So we're going to say the region here is y plus x below, okay, is less or equal to 7. So these are the coordinates here. I mean, these are the inequalities. You get 5 marks. So we come to question 22. This is 22. A, B, and C. So how do we solve this one? We do not have space here, so we can start with A. X 3 is equals to 4. Okay, so we need to find the value of x here. So what is the reciprocal of 1 over 3? It is 3. So when you multiply this one by 3, you also multiply this one here by 3. So this is going to give you 1. So you remain with x alone. And when you expand this, this is going to give you 64. That is 4 times 4 times 4. That is going to give you that one. So here the value of x is equals to what? 64. That's what you're going to get. Okay? Then we come to the second one, which is B. In the diagram below, OPQ is a sector of a circle whose center is O, whose center is O, comma, radius x, and the angle POQ is 80. So given that the area of a sector is 308, calculate the value of x, which is the radius. Okay, so first of all here, let me make use of this space here, or we can start from here, then we'll continue this side. So our B, the formula that we use to find the area of a sector is theta 360 multiplied by what? By pi multiplied by r squared. So in this question, we want to find the value of r. So you can actually make r the subject of the formula here by saying you cross multiply. We're going to have theta multiplied by pi r squared is equals to 360 multiplied by area. So if we want, remember we want to find radius. So we can say radius is equals to 360 multiplied by over theta multiplied by pi here. So that is what we are going to work with. Now, because r is squared, if I want, I'm continuing this part here. B continued here. Okay? B is continued. So we can say r is equals to the square root of 360 multiplied by area, what is our area? 300 over, then what is our theta? Our theta is 80 multiplied by our pi, which is what? 22 over 7. Okay. Okay, so here we can continue. When we simplify this one further, you can say, okay, you know this one. So this is dividing into this. So it's as good as this 7 must multiply with these ones that are on top here. So you can say 360 multiplied by 308 multiplied by 7 over 80 multiplied by 22. Then you can work out this. You will discover that you are going to get that your radius is equals to 21 centimeters. So your radius here is equals to your x is equals to 21 centimeters. Okay, then we go to C. So when we come to C here, it reads the diagram below shows triangle A. If triangle A is mapped onto triangle B by translation vector 3, -2, draw triangle B on the diagram in the space below. So what we are supposed to do here, we can actually get the coordinates of only each point of these and add them to what? To this one. Okay? And add them to this one. So for instance, the coordinates here, we've got what? Negative, the coordinates of this point. You can add the coordinates which is -2, 2 to this one. Then they will give you the corresponding, the coordinates of the image for this one. But alternatively, we can use where we move, okay, by the steps. Like this one, it is 3. So it means along the x-axis, we need to move 3 steps going to the positive. Then 2 steps going to the negative, which is downwards, or going down where we have a negative. So from this point, we're going to have, since this is 2 here, we're going to say from this point, this is 2. Then up to the middle point here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 3 here. Then we come down 2 steps. So this point is going to be here. Okay? So I do believe that once we have one point, then we can conclude all these other points, because we know that from this one, this point, if it's here, this other one must come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be here. And also this other one should be here. So I think just by having one point, we can conclude the values, the coordinates of the other points. So then we join just these points here. Join. Okay, this part is already okay here. Then you also have to join the other part there. I do not have a ruler. So okay, so this is how it's going to be. This is what will be triangle B here. Okay, so we come to the last question, which is question 23. We can read the question together. The diagram below is a speed time graph of a particle which accelerates uniformly from rest for 12 seconds until it reaches a speed of 24 meters per second. It moves at a constant speed for a further 12 seconds before it accelerates uniformly for another 6 seconds to a speed of v meters per second. First question. Calculate its acceleration for the first 12 seconds. Okay, so here we need to find the first one. We're going to have acceleration is equal to final velocity minus the initial velocity over time taken. So the final velocity here is 24 minus the starting point, like the initial point here, which was 0. So over the time taken, it's 12. So we're going to get 24 over 12. And this is going to give us what? Meters per second square. This is what is going to be our acceleration. Then we come to B. Find the distance which the particle covered in the first 24 seconds. So when you want to find the distance, it's the same as finding the area under that graph. So we need to find the area of this part here. So as you can see, this we can either find the area of this triangle and this rectangle, or we can treat it as a trapezium. So we can take this as a trapezium, which is distance is equals to A plus B over height. So we have 1 over 2. These two parallel sides here, the shorter one is what? 12. Here, from this point up to this one. From this point up to this one, this is 12. And then the longer side is 24. So we have 12 plus 24. Then the height is also 24. The height here, 24. So we're going to get 24. So you can say 2 into 12 here. 2 into 24, sorry. We're going to get 12. Then when we add this, we're going to get 36. So what do we get when we simplify this? When you multiply this, we get 432. Okay? Meters. That's what we're getting. So this is going to give us 2. Then this is going to give us 432. Then we have the last one. So given that the total distance covered was 600 meters, calculate the value of V. The total distance here. So what are we supposed to do? So we are actually going to use the 600 to find this one. And we are going to say, we need to find the area of this whole thing. Then we equate it to 600. Now, I want you to take note that this part here, the first one, this whole part here that I'm covering, we already found the distance here. Okay? We already found the distance of this one, so we can't redo it. So we are going to say, C, we actually need to find the distance of this trapezium and this other trapezium, but this one we already found it. So we are going to say we have 432 plus, now we also have another trapezium. This is a trapezium here. So we have 1 over 2 multiplied by A plus B over H. So our A and B here now are these two parallel sides. Now take note, the first one goes up to 24. The other one goes up to V. So here we're going to have 1 over 2 plus 24 plus V. And then our H we're going to get our h from here now. This is our h, okay? So it becomes 6. Take note, here we have 432. So 432 plus, this must be equated to 600, which is the distance that we have been given. This must be equated to 600. So this 2 into 3. 2 into 6, we are going to get 3. So we have 3 here is equals to what? 3 here is equals to 2 into 6 is 3. Then we have 24 plus v. This is equals to 600. Then here we can say 324 plus v is equals to 600 minus 432. So when you subtract this side, so this is supposed to be 324 plus v. When you subtract this side, you are getting 168. Okay? So now you further divide both sides by 3. When you divide both sides by 3, this side you are only remaining with what? You are remaining with 24 plus v is equals to, what do you get here? You are getting 56. Okay? You are going to get 56. So now to find the value of v here, you need to say 56 minus 24. And v will be equals to 32. So our v here is supposed to be equals to 32. Okay, that is what we are supposed to do. And this brings us to the end of this paper. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We were doing this paper. This is the paper that we were solving. Thank you.